Southern Indiana, Southern Indiana man.
Welcome to We'll Read and Sing for Food, show number 83. Here. Well, I don't know about that. But here at Clubhouse 61, former golf course in Jasper. The 61 makes sense, I think, because that's what I shot. That was my average for 9 holes on a par 3. Prior to tonight's show, we were up to $59,700 for 23 charities and causes. And so tonight we got a brand new cause, one of the most human things we could talk about, I think. And so thank you for coming, and thank you for when you've come time and time again. A lot of you have. So it's your money that's raised our total for us, and we do appreciate that. I'm Scott Salmon. This is We'll Read and Sing for Food. And we like to kick off our show with a song by our eternal We'll Read and Sing for Food member, Paul Michael Ash, who died 3 years ago. This is his signature song, and take it away, Kyle Leakin.
I'm a fun-loving guy from the hills of Indiana. Like to tie my hair with a yellow bandana, make my music much as I can. I'm laying back down the road, hope you carry down an easy load. Southern Indiana, Southern Indiana man. From Evansville down to New Albany, everything is fine far as I can see. From Bloomington on south, you understand. It's a good time on a Friday night, everybody's feeling right. Southern Indiana, Southern Indiana man. Well, I'm not saying that I got it made, but I wish I was laying up in the shade. I had myself a guitar in my hand. Don't take no strain, it ain't no use kicking back and get real loose. Southern Indiana, Southern Indiana man. Sometimes I don't feel so smooth. I wish I could find myself a groove. My oh my, that sure would feel grand. Yeah. When you're down and strung out, lift your head and shout. Southern Indiana, Southern Indiana man.
Kyle Leakin, our musical force of our show. And so is Debbie. Sheets. Let's hear a chant for Sheets. It's Sheets, Sheets, Sheets. Yes, yes.
Don't butter up now.
Sheets is my favorite musician that we ever play with.
That's true.
I just want to tell you that.
She's my second favorite. So, not tonight though. But anyway. Belt it out, Miss Sheets.
I should just get up and go out this door right now.
I don't know if you know this, Janis Joplin died many years ago.
She did, but we'll resurrect her right now. Oh, Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz?
Clap those hands.
My friends all drive Porsches. I must make amends. Worked hard all my lifetime. No help from my friends. So Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz? Oh Lord, won't you buy me a color TV? Darling for dollars is trying to buy me. I wait for delivery each day until 3. So Lord, won't you buy me a color TV? Oh Lord, won't you buy me a night on the town? I'm counting on you, Lord. Please don't let me down. Prove that you love me and buy the next round. So Lord, won't you buy me a night on the town? Everybody, oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? My friends all drive Porsches. I must make amends.
Beautiful.
Worked hard all my lifetime, no help from my friends. So Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz?
Sheet. Show her the love.
Sheets.
Yeah, she and Kyle are like the musical pistons for our show. They play about every show now for probably a year and a half, and we're called We'll Read and Sing for Food. So you can tell they've eaten a lot for their services. So anyway, I'm just kidding. That was low hanging fruit right now, just getting warmed up.
So we're going to cut Scott off. I think Scott had one too many of those.
We'll be raising money for Weight Watchers next show.
Daniel Market is up. He drove all the way up here from Muscle Shoals, Alabama. He played in a show for us a month ago. Awesome singer-songwriter. Has a great new CD out that he's going to be pushing tonight. Debbie, you have anything to sell? No?
Do I have anything to sell?
Anything to sell?
It's illegal,
I think
Scott.
that's a personal question.
Back here behind the big white pickup truck that you drive.
I mean,
Yeah.
people want it, but it's illegal.
Well, this is my favorite Daniel Market song. I hope you're doing it. I hope it's not my least favorite.
You asked me to.
Okay, all right. It's his only good song.
Right,
He's
I'm
gonna-
going to ask you to sing some backup on this one.
Nah, that's all right.
No, you're
Sheets is aware. I don't know that well.
I was talking to Andrew, who's a great writer, about moving down to Alabama, and I was in Indiana, and a long time ago, a friend of mine, when I was working on my church, I was sanding the floors, and he said, I asked him if he thought my floors are ready to sand, and he says, well, there's only 3 things matter when you're working with wood, and that's sand, 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 you know. 15 years later, my friend in Alabama's dad dies. I go out to mow my grass, and it just came to me, the whole song, almost in one piece. Took about 5 minutes to write it. The Hardwood Men. We gotta wait for, there we go. Start it from the top. Hey, way down yonder near the Natchez trees, my Alabama buddy plays the upright bass. Worked with his daddy since he was a kid. I'm gonna tell you now what them old boys did. Lots of big machines, they broke their backs, sanding down scratches, filling in the cracks of the hardwood floors while they cussed and they sneezed, breathing the dust while they blowed at their knees. From the chestnut oak to the heart of the pine, him and his daddy made the hardwood shine. Stir up the finish, add a little bit of stain. Bring the tad more color to the green. Bring the tad more color to the green. And only 3 things matter when you're working with wood, and that's sand, sand, sand. Him and his daddy took a lot of pride working with their hands, hands, hands. I'm gonna sing this tune, gonna sing it again. Just a little song for the hardwood men. Just a little ditty for the hardwood men. I'm gonna sing this tune, gonna sing it again. Just a little tune for the hardwood men. Well, it's a sacred task when you're on your knees. You worship at the altar that was once big trees, and they done their work and they done her with pride. They praise the Lord on the hardwood side. Praise the Lord on the hardwood side. But But only three things matter when you're working with wood, and that's sand, sand, sand. Well, him and his daddy took a lot of pride working with their hands, hands, hands. I'm gonna sing this tune, gonna sing it again. Just a little tune for the hardwood men. Just a little ditty for the hardwood men. So when Jesus comes like he said he would, and said, build me a church and it better be good, gonna step right up and say to the Lord, you're gonna want them boys for the hardwood floors. Gonna want them boys for the hardwood floors. But only three things matter when you're working with wood, and that's sand, sand, sand. Well, him and his daddy took a lot of pride working with their hands, hands, hands. I'm gonna sing this tune, gonna sing it again. Just a little tune for the hardwood men. I got the news today that his daddy passed. Guess a man never knows when he'll run out of gas. I wrote me a song for a real good friend, a simple little ditty called the Hardwood Men. Just a little tune for the Hardwood Men. But only three things matter when you're working with wood, and that's sand, sand, sand. Well, him and his daddy took a lot of pride working with their hands, hands, hands. I'm gonna sing this tune, gonna sing it again. Just a little tune for the Hardwood Men. And his daddy, well, I seen them before, on their hands and knees on my hardwood floors, on their hands and knees on the hardwood floor, on their hands and knees on the hardwood floor. Thank you.
Daniel Mark. Boy, that felt good. Felt like a revival, man. It's a revival tonight.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, good.
I was like, what's he want me to do?
It was just, it was just like you guys
Yes.
actually rehearsed it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's almost better than when we rehearsed it.
Almost better.
Almost.
How'd he do, sis? Where you at, Nancy? Where you at? There she. Younger brother, right? Not the yeah.
She dyes her hair, though, and she looks younger than...
Oh, God. That's Nancy and Bill Young in the second row. Bill Young, I wrote about them just real quickly. They met. Bill was serving in Vietnam, a machine gunner, and Nancy was an 18-year-old high school student getting ready to be a nursing student. And they didn't know each other, and they began writing letters back and forth. And they're married now, 40-some years. How many years? 47, yeah. So, and thank you, Bill, for all that you did. And thanks for supporting our show as much as you do. Thank you very much. This segment, actually this whole show, would you say it's brought to you by Service. Service. Yes, Service. What about Service? Yeah, Grandy's, Lone John Silver's, Wendy's, Denny's. Service based right here in Jasper, Indiana, owns and operates 180 restaurants across the Midwest. They also operate Jasper 8. Thank you for your support, Service. They gave us enough money to say this 10 shows, which unfortunately for Debbie means she has to sing this jingle for 10 shows. So, commercial time, sing it.
And anybody that's been here knows what I'm going to sing.
Sing along.
Sing along. Living on Granny's chicken legs, digging Danny's scrambled eggs. Long John Silver is our favorite peg leg guy.
Peg legs.
When my stomach gets nervous, thank God there is Service. Let's go to Wendy's for some biggie fries. Wasted away again in Margaritaville.
Sheets,
Searching for my lost shaker of soul. And I'm not his favorite. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I know it's all Jason's fault. He made me throw you under the bus, Jason.
Thank you, Debbie Sheets. To the left of me is Brian Boland, who plays with us music with his lovely wife Jamie. But we set him on the bench tonight. But he's also a man with hundreds of voices in his head, and he knows a couple of impersonations from that. So anyway, thank God for all those voices in your head and the impersonation. So you're going to help me with this. Right. And I think you're in the, Debbie. You're in this somehow, correct?
You gave me one line.
Good. Okay. All right. Anyway.
At least you get a hold of guitar.
During a bus ride through Poznan, Poland, someone spoke glowingly about a massage she had at our hotel. It was amazing, she assured us. Her Polish massage therapist's name was Anna. My back was killing me, my calf muscles were a mess, and I had just arrived from an overseas flight and coach. I could think of no one more deserving of the hands of the amazing Anna than me. The lovely woman at the spa counter, Anna, I presumed, assured me she would take good care of me.
Remove your clothes, put on this robe, underwear, and sandals.
Will you say this slower, just one more time? The underwear was actually a flimsy, papery, disposable thong. It was hard figuring out which was the front and which was the back. I had never worn a thong, geez. I tried it on every way imaginable, with the exception of wearing it like a surgeon's mask. I deduced that the side with the most material was the front. I hoped I was right. Anna sent me to the relaxation room, where she promised to bring me lemon water. Scented candles burned, new age music played. Several minutes passed. I anticipated Anna's holy touch. A man stepped into the relaxation room, half my age, twice my size.
Would you like water?
I'm taken care of, I said. Anna is getting the water for me. The man grabbed a nearby pitcher and filled a glass.
My name is Pavel. Are you ready for your massage?
Yes. He handed me the glass, said he would be back.
I'll be back. Relax.
I figured he was merely the spa's water boy who would ultimately usher me to Anna's room. Pavel returned.
I'm ready if you're ready.
Our eyes met. Suddenly, something seemed terribly wrong. The look between us told me that Pavel was not the spa lackey that I thought he was.
Are you surprised? You look surprised.
Surprise was an understatement. I would have been less caught off guard had a walrus wearing a tutu and playing a pan flute waddled into the relaxation room. Isn't there a female available, I said, my voice barely audible. Clearly I was the victim of some international bait and switch scheme.
This is my time slot. I'll give you a few more minutes to relax.
Relax? How can a person relax when one suddenly finds himself teleported into hell's front lobby? I have never been comfortable with man hands. Suddenly this massage, which was supposed to be about relaxation, became the angst-tainted equivalent of a 3-alarm fire prostate exam. Despite my discomfort with Pavel, it didn't feel right to just bolt from the spa. Besides, it would look weird running through the fancy hotel lobby with my robe rising in back to publicly reveal my possible backward thong, screaming like an escaped lunatic. I didn't want to create an international incident. Besides, Pavel is a licensed professional, I reasoned. Pavel returned.
Ready?
In the massage... He sounds more like Pavel than Pavel did. In the massage room, he instructed.
Remove your robe. Put the towel on you. I will knock on the door to see if you are ready.
I removed my robe. Nerves made it nearly impossible to cover myself with the towel. Each time I laid stomach first on the massage table, the towel slid to the floor. After several tries, the towel finally stayed, formed into a mound over my bare butt, looking like a genie's turban. As if on cue, Pavel knocked. Knock, please. Thank you. The first thing he did was adjust. This is not rehearsed. This is
Obviously.
This is not the Tony Orlando show. The first thing he did was adjust the butt turban, stretching it lengthwise to hide most of my body, but not before giving the towel a quick shake, causing the towel to briefly rise, magic carpet-like from my skin, possibly enabling him a quick peek to see if I indeed had the thong on correctly. The towel settled, the massage table rose, and Pavel got down to serious silent business with his well-oiled professional man hands. At some point, I actually relaxed. The incredible pressure applied to my body seemed to come not from the hands of a man or a woman, but from some merciful, strong-handed alien being. This man-administered massage was actually more intense than any I'd experienced before. It was one of those hurt-so-good kind of massages. With my face pressed in the face hole, I drooled. Soon after, a buddy of mine, Javier, who was thinking about making a massage appointment at the hotel too, asked me about the Anna I had originally planned to see. Was she blonde? Was she tall? Was she beautiful? Javier asked. Anna was a Pavel, I said. She was a he. He decided to forgo his appointment. Too bad for Javier. He was missing out on a damn good massage. Brian Boland, thank you very much. Debbie Sheeter, God love you. Now then, I got a real surprise here. This is on the set list, guys, before we go to the left side. Are you aware of a young high school lady in Jasper named Rebecca Gentry? If you don't know, she picked, of the whole entire world, I'm pretty sure of this, did you do a bracket, Jason, for the March Madness?
I did not.
You did not? Well, shit. Let's see. That thing.
You didn't tell me that was a requirement, Scott, or I would have done it.
She missed 3 games in the whole tournament. Wow. She's been interviewed across the country in various things. I read her, even NCAA.com online had an interview with her. No one else did that, as far as we know. A high school student from Jasper, India. Come up here, Rebecca. I want you to stand by me if you're brave enough. Stand over here by this microphone, will you? We have a few questions. I don't know why I'm going to ask you, but you've already answered these questions a million times now. But first of all, congratulations. She picked Vanderbilt to win as well. She lost out on, she had Syracuse in the final, but that was the only one, I think, since the first round where she missed 2. But anyway, so obviously, you love basketball, and you got to be serious about it, and that's, you're the top of the world on this bracket thing. So is that true? You're a big basketball follower. You love the game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I watch it all the time.
All the time. You're killing me up here.
I'm an avid watcher.
How many games have you seen?
2 full ones this season.
This season.
But before that, none.
Right, but I think I read you did see the Harlem Globetrotters once.
Yeah, they came to the high school.
Oh, there you go. So that's all you have to go back to is the Harlem Globetrotters. But you're getting a lot of attention, and how's it feel? Is this cool? Are you surprised that people care?
I really don't understand the bracket thing, so I was kind of surprised when anybody cared besides, my class. And when I started getting calls and text messages from strangers, I'm like, okay, this is bigger than what I thought it was going to be. And people keep asking me about it, and I'm just like, just look at my phone. Look how many people I don't know on here now. I have more contacts in here than I did before. And it's weird.
And that was a class project, I think. Which class was it?
Mr. Holes, Lit and Comp.
And he asked all the students, it was for extra credit, right? Fill out a bracket?
Actually, I believe it's just for donuts that we're getting Friday.
Oh, okay, all right.
But we still get donuts.
Well, he told me you're getting an A+, so don't spoil the surprise. So you get donuts, but anyway, and he kept track, and you did an incredible feat because of these brainiacs, these bracketology people, and everybody just died off the first round of the tournament. You just cruised on through, and how old are you? You're 16, 17?
17.
17. And it's very cool. Anything else you want to say before I kick you off?
Not that I can think of.
But I think it's very cool. You talked to a few. I can't remember if it was. Did you talk to ESPN or Sports Center or would you know?
They're texting me at the moment. I didn't really know what ESPN was at first.
It's Extra Special People Network, okay? So yeah. So anyway, well, congratulations and thanks
Thank
for.
you.
She came up at the last minute. I asked her.
Thank you.
Way to go, King of the world.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our special, bye Rebecca, Mr. Jason Wilbur is here tonight.
Thank you.
He has a new CD out. It's called Echoes, correct?
That is correct.
And this is the weird one because it's like other people's songs, not your own.
I would not describe it as weird.
No, it's weird in a good
I
way.
reject the characterization that you're making.
He's a great singer-songwriter on his own, which would surprise me, and he decided to do other people's songs. Why'd you do that? Why?
Well, it's interesting. As an artist, as a singer-songwriter, recording artist, you kind of have a kind of have a bunch of responsibilities, right? You're the singer, you're the songwriter, you're the recording artist. So it's interesting to take away. It's sort of like if you take away some of the paints on a painter's palette, you say, okay, we'll be creative with just this part. And it's an interesting exercise. So that's kind of how I came to it. There were some songs by other people that I really loved, and I wanted to find a way to do those songs that was my own way, different than the original version. And as I started doing that, it just turned into a really fun exercise, It's so just a chance to take a different tact, I guess.
I've heard some good things about it already, and you have it back on the merchandise table afterwards. Sell, sign it, whatever.
I do.
Sing us a song, man.
I would love to, but I have to say something first.
Yes.
Is this the teacher who's driving a Porsche now, her teacher? Because there's one of those teachers over there who I know bought a Porsche recently, and I don't know if it's the bracket teacher or not, but I'm just saying, I think there's more to this than she's saying.
He submitted secretly her bracket to the big thing, and
yes, for donuts for the kids, right?
Golden Donuts.
All right, well, that's pretty incredible. So this is a song that is not on my new record, but it's one I always like to play. I feel like people from Indiana can relate to it. It's about Indiana, a part of Indiana where we've all had some experience with, probably. I see a long fence road and a house I know, and a worn-out path down a long, dusty road. And I'm moving real slow. I don't hear a sound. Is it finally time to lay my body down? I could smell the cooking a half a mile away, and I can see the yard where the children play. I hear a quiet voice beside me say, forget the sadness you felt on Judgment Day. But I don't see any harp strumming angels. Oh, no golden trumpet horns begin to play. It's just an old farmhouse on a country way, and I feel all my burdens drift away. I walk up through the yard under big shade trees. There's two old men on a wide porch swing. I see a woman waving through the front screen door, and I realize I've known them all before. But I don't see any harp strumming angels. Oh, no golden trumpet horns begin to play. It's just an old farmhouse on a country way, and I feel all my burdens drift away. cold. I haven't felt this free since I was 10 years old. And we've got fried chicken and apple pie. Oh, I never would have guessed that heaven would look so fine. And I don't need any harp strumming angels. Oh, no golden trumpet horns have to play. Just an old farmhouse on a country way. Oh, is all I need to take my pain away. Yeah, I never would have guessed that heaven would look this way.
You've got the best job in the world, don't you?
I do. Doing nothing.
Doing.
No.
He travels the country and the world with John Prine. Come on.
That's true. It is a great job.
And you've met some heroes.
I've met some heroes. I've met some zeros.
Have you? some who thought they were your hero and then the zero.
No, that hasn't happened too often.
Yeah,
no.
yeah. Is there a highlight person you've met through your travels?
Oh, well, I met Johnny Cash once. It was a long time ago, though. That was pretty cool, though, because he really was larger than life. You know?
Right,
really
right.
is like just as amazing as you would think it would be to meet Johnny Cash. So.
Right, and you guys draw some stars into the audience to watch you play. Was David
Sometimes.
Gilmour? Is that correct?
Roger Waters.
Roger Waters. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, don't tell him I.
Same band.
They would not appreciate that.
So who's your favorite?
You could kiss them goodbye for this now. I just want to say that.
Well, they're coming next month, so together actually. We brought them together. Sing another song.
You're gonna have a good crowd, I think. So this song is once I got this idea of doing a record of songs by other writers, I really started. Looking through all my music I like and trying to find interesting things to do, trying to find things that I could do my own way. This one is actually by a band called Graffiti 6. That's what I thought. Yeah. All right. So they're kind of a UK electronic dance music pop duo. So this song, when they do it, sounds nothing like the version I'm about to play for you, but it was a song I really liked. I just discovered it randomly on iTunes a few years ago, and I was in the car with David Jakes, who plays bass for John Prine, and we were driving somewhere together between gigs and, playing music for each other off of our phones, and I said, hey, check out this song I really like. And at the end he goes, you should try to sing that one. I said, what are you talking about? It's nothing like what I do. You're crazy. He said, no, you should try that one. And so I just kind of filed that away. And then when this project rolled around, I thought, maybe he was right. Maybe I should try to sing it. So anyway, you can decide for yourself if I should have tried to sing it. It's called Annie, You Save Me. Remember me when you are down. Float me on it and lift me up from off the ground. Oh baby, I feel lazy, so lie here in my arms tonight. Would you deny cry, a poor man's cry? Just when I'm finding it hard to breathe, you lift the weight inside of me. Oh baby, I see the light, it's burning bright, and we're the stars. Oh Annie, you save me from escape from this heartache. I need release. Oh, baby, this world's crazy, so lie here in my arms tonight. You can't deny a poor man's cry, a poor man's cry. Just when I'm finding it hard to breathe, you lift the weight inside of me. Oh, baby, I see the light. It's burning bright, and we're the stars. Oh, Annie, you save me from the world. Oh, Annie, you save me from the world. I say, stars, please shine for me tonight. I said, stars, please shine for me tonight. Oh, Annie, you save me from the world. All right. Thank you. Annie, you saved me.
Jason Wilbert. Now who originally did that?
It's a band called Graffiti 6.
Graffiti 6. I bet if they listened to that, they would probably say, we should do that song. And they just, yeah, try it. See, right back there, raise your hand, Javier. Javier was, he's the guy I mentioned who was with me in Poznan, who was interested in Anna. That whole section back there, they're from Thailand, China, Poland, Romania. They came all the way here to see this show, Mexico, Tampa, the Magdas, and even some Jasper. But welcome, Kimball Electronics, Global HR people. Thanks for coming. This awesome hat. I love the hat.
Thank you.
Andrea Worth.
Thank you. It was a gift.
I love the hat, Jason.
Christmas.
Oh, thank you. I didn't want her to feel like she was the only person with a hat.
So much.
You guys wear hats well. I wish I could do that.
Jason requested my advice in the restroom before the show, and I'd go with the hat, personally.
Yeah, it's a bad hair day.
Shut the hell up. Okay. Andrea Worth, we'll talk to you more later. We just want to hear a song right now, okay?
All right. Saturday night did a number on me, baby. Bright lights, big sound, now here in the quiet outside. The snow's coming down, you know it's falling down. The rain's coming down, maybe I'm falling down. There's a quiet madness underneath the rug on my stage, but you know the laughter keeps on coming. Now don't be surprised, it's only a disguise. I'm nothing more than a song waiting to be sung. I'm sitting back in the shadows of a mind full of worry and then some. I'm just a song, but I'm one of many in this beautiful world. I'm a song full of passion and love and uncertainty. Sometimes I need help for coming. It's always good to see your face. God knows what it takes to light up my place. It's all falling down. Or maybe I am all falling down. I don't mean to ruin your night by spilling all my wine. Hug, hug, kiss, kiss. I must be going. There's a taxi outside. He said I can sing for a ride. I'm nothing more than a song waiting to be sung. I'm sitting back in the shadows of a mind full of worry and then some. I'm just a song, but I'm one of many in this beautiful world. I'm a song full of passion and love and uncertainty. Sometimes I need help with my melody. You shared your song. It fell so gently on my soul. Then you asked me not to go, so I read your verse. It was so beautiful and true. And if you don't mind, sometimes I sing way out of tune. I will share my song with you. I'm nothing more than a song waiting to be sung. I'm sitting back in the shadows of a mind full of worry and then some. I'm just a song, but I'm one of many in this beautiful world. I'm a song full of passion and love and uncertainty. Sometimes I need help with my melody.
That was lovely. Andrea Worth, she's half of what is called the honey vines. We always only get half the honey vines. I don't know what she has against us, but anyway, we're glad to have you. Beautiful voice. And you have some merchandise to sell tonight? What are you selling?
I do have some T-shirts,
Okay.
and I've got some download cards if anybody is interested. Those are a gift, and we're working on a CD right now, and we're really excited. In fact, I do have a book back there. We'd love to stay in touch. If you've got a Facebook or an email, I'd be happy to send you some of the songs that we do have. We've got some songs on iTunes as well. So
Cool. Great. She'll be back. I'm excited. From Evansville, Indiana, John Webb. He's with the Courier Press. What is it? Metro editor? What? Fake title. He's a fake title. He also has a column in there, and I love his stuff. And I just only recently dug in there and found everything, and we had to get him up here. He's a great writer. And thank you, John, for coming.
Yeah, no problem.
Is that thing on?
Is it on?
It's on. Is that thing on?
Is it on?
It's on.
There we go.
Would you like to just stand here and read?
Am I okay here, or would you guys prefer that I stand up? I don't care either way. I'm flexible.
You're running the show. Help us out. Stand up. Get up here.
Stand up.
Come to the big boy table.
Sorry I didn't memorize this before I came. Actually, I had a weird moment with Rebecca earlier. I saw her. I recognized her. We did a story about her today. And I kind of snuck up. I was texting my coworker. I said, "Bracket Girl's here." Are you sure? I think it's her. So sorry about that. That was... See a celebrity, I have to say something. Okay, this is about one of the few times I was allowed to pitch in my very short baseball career. Okay. Chipper. I ran back to the dugout while the rest of the team trotted onto the field. Coach lounged on the dugout bench, spitting Skull juice into a gas station Coke cup. When Coach assigned me to third base at the beginning of the summer, he asked me my least favorite third baseman. Chipper Jones, I had said. No question about it. Hate the Braves, hate that a grown man would call himself Chipper. How you doing, Chipper? He said. Fine. He sighed and leaned back. His plaid shirt was almost completely unbuttoned. At the beginning of the game, it had been cinched just south of his throat, but every time he walked to his truck parked along the fence at Hall Field for a drink of Gatorade, he returned with another button undone. Gold chain shimmered through his chest hair, bushlight belly badly sunburned. Did you see any hot women out there? He said. If you do, let me know. I put my glove back on and started toward the field. Oh, right, he said, the fog of beer lifting. You're pitching. We were up by 2, 3, 12 runs, a lead safe enough to plant me on the mound and still escape with a win. My first relief appearance a couple of games before had gone well, but I wasn't as tested as the other 9 and 10-year-olds who could throw actual pitches. Snell could throw a curveball. It was like watching a magician saw someone in half. I sprinted to the mound. The catcher still was sprawled in the on-deck circle, clipping on shin guards, but I had to warm up. Too nervous to scream, I looked toward the dugout. Coach knelt behind the plate and threw up 2 gloveless hands. Don't you need a mitt? I said. You think Piazza needs a mitt? Yes, I thought. I think Piazza definitely needs a mitt. I threw one in there anyway. You can throw harder than that. Another. Throw harder. I doubt you're going to break my hand. He was right. I missed his hand by several feet. Throw harder reverberated in my skull when the first opposing batter stepped into the box and mimicked some elaborate batting stance that looked like a cross between Barry Bonds and a convulsing marionette. I fired one in there. Marionette Bonds hit the dirt as the ball sang past his ear. Catcher's look asked me if I was insane. I read the look as, throw harder. 7 pitches later, there were 2 on. The crowd at Orleans' Hall Field, formerly made up of a smattering of parents and a few neighborhood kids cussing and skipping rocks in the floodwaters that swallowed half the gravel parking lot, had inexplicably grown to the size of Yankee Stadium. And good God, they'd all morphed into Elise Taylor. 30,000 incarnations of the girl I had a crush on were watching me fail. And they were laughing at me. With what unholy drug had the concessions lady spiked my Sprite? It's okay, I thought. All I have to do is throw harder. The only thing worse than walking 3 batters in a row is walking 2 and having the third hit the ball right at you. The ball hit a shard of gravel in the dirt, and it took an odd hop over my left shoulder. Instead of snagging it with my glove, you think Piazza needs a mitt? I executed a spin move not seen since Nancy Kerrigan took 8 shots of vodka. Grasping at the ball with my bare right hand, I stumbled and fell into the dirt, and the ball rolled past. One scored on an RBI grounder to the pitcher, which is pretty rare. Runners on second and third with none out. Coach had seen enough. He signaled for a new pitcher and patted me on the shoulder. It's okay, Chipper, he said. We've got him right where we want him. Tears aren't visible in the darkness of right field. I punched my glove and waited for the crowd to go back to normal.
Good job. Yes, we're following the set list here, Jenna. No on that one song. Okay. All right. Yes. First error of the night on me. Jenna Quinn, where are you? Jenna Quinn is coming up. Jenna tours the U.S. speaking about a very serious subject, very personal, and we're glad you're here. And I'm going to let you talk up here, and I'm going to raise this up a bit. Jenna Quinn, everybody.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Howdy, y'all. Anybody here from Texas? I just came from Texas. 76 degrees yesterday, and I was in for something when I got here. So really, tonight is all about the Advocacy Center in CASA, and it gets a little serious with what I talk about, but it all ends well because I'm here and, doing a lot of good, and I'll talk about that. I'm not sure if you've heard of Jenna's Law or not, the child abuse prevention law that's named after me, and thank goodness I didn't have to die to have a law named after me, as most children do. So really just going to give you a couple of statistics and talk about how prevalent child sexual abuse is. I know it's not a fun topic, but it is Child Abuse Prevention Month, April, which is why I'm here and traveling so much. We all know someone with cancer or, have had someone very close to us be diagnosed with cancer, and child sexual abuse is 2 times more prevalent than Americans living with cancer. There's over 42 million survivors of child sexual abuse in America alone. 1 in 4 girls are sexually abused before the age of 18, and 1 in 6 boys are sexually abused before the age of 18. And those numbers aren't pretty, but what's even worse is that over 90% of the time, it's someone that the child knows, but not only knows, they trust that person. And usually the parents and those around the child, they also trust the perpetrator, because perpetrators use that relationship as a deposit for the child's silence. It's very hard for a child to tell on someone when, they think they might disappoint their parents in some way. So very long story short, I, have a very close family, went to a private Christian school, lived in a really great community, just like Jasper. And, people would have always said, this never happens. This would never happen at our private Christian school. This would never happen in our church. This would never happen where we live in our community. But unfortunately, statistics don't lie. It does happen. And I am one of the 4 girls, and I have sisters. And it's really interesting that, no matter what you do, it's out there. And for me, it was a very good, close family friend. And we traveled with this person. We went on vacations together. We spent holidays together. And he was a neighbor, lived, probably 5-10 minutes away. And we did a lot of carpooling. And my best friend, how could I tell my best friend that their father is a monster? How do you say that as a child? So really, with not telling and not self-disclosing, it really got bad. And for most survivors, it's very difficult to keep a secret like that, especially when everyone knows and trusts the perpetrator. So it happened for years, and it continued for years, and I just went on this downward spiral of, secrecy and shame, and, went from making straight A's, went from being on homecoming court, being very popular, or at least I like to think I was popular. Was who's who in sports, who's who in academics, did very well, and over time, slowly failed out. I was on truancy my junior year in high school. I was a completely different person and almost got committed to a mental hospital. It was that bad. My parents didn't know what else to do. And of course, this perpetrator, he threatened my life, and no one could figure out what was wrong with me because no one knew what to look for. Nobody ever would have connected the dots, because why would you ever consider sexual abuse? No one wants to consider that. So one day, my bossy older sister took me to lunch, and she said, you know what? I'm going to ask you a question, and you have to promise to tell me the truth. And I looked at her, and I thought, oh my gosh, she noticed I took her shoes out for a new stroll, or I got mustard on her shirt, and oh man, this is bad. What could be so bad that she makes me promise to tell her the truth? Well, she looked me dead in the eye, and she said, do you promise? I said, yes. All right, get on with it. What are you going to ask me, And she said, Jenna, has anyone ever hurt you? And without saying a word, I broke down into uncontrollable tears. I gave her the answer that she needed right there. But I didn't want to tell her who it was. I said, yes, but you're not going to believe me. This person, we're so close to this person, I can't tell you who it is. And that was not going to fly with my bossy older sister. She wanted her sister back. So that night we called a family meeting and we told my parents, and that was the moment I had always dreaded, was telling my parents. And my goodness, the question was, what do we do now? I mean, it took my father, everything he had in him. I mean, this was his best friend. He would have died. He would have died for my best friend. And then he finds out that his friend's doing this to his own daughter. So he tried. He got his coat on, he marched over to the door, and he was headed over there. We had to stop him, and we called the police. And then after we called the police, that's where the Children's Advocacy Center stepped in. And they were such a safe haven for us because we had no idea that we were going to get so much support. I mean, when you go through something like that, you feel like you're the only person going through what you're going through, that no one else understands it. But the Advocacy Center, like the Children's Advocacy Center here, was such a huge help to us and just helping us feel supported and encouraged. And that's what survivors need. They need to be believed. They need to be supported because there's so many feelings of shame and isolation involved. And they're not going to like this, but there's two people here that helped with that in Texas, and they live in Jasper, Indiana now. So I have to have Pam and Levi stand right now. They're here. They have to stand. Come on. Small world, the older you get. All right, I'll finish my story in the next segment. Whoever's next. Yeah.
Thank you very much. We are going to do that one.
Okay, whatever you want.
My buddy Rick back there, Rick Braun, my oldest friend, who's forever, we went to high school together, college together, kicked out a few bars. Not really, we were nerds. Sounded good though. But raise your hand, Rick. Stand up, Rick. Stand up. Rick's turned 51 today. So let's wish him a happy birthday in any language you know. Lead it, Debbie.
I don't know if I want to do this or not. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rick. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Rick.
Right next to him is his new bride, Joe. Hello, Joe. Congratulations. It was around Christmas they got married. Very good. Wow. Yes, wow's right. Debbie, since you've been so good, play us. Are you going to do the Tom Waits song, or are you switching on me? Okay.
No, Tom Waits.
Okay.
All right. I haven't sang in a long time. When you put that on there, I was like, well, all right. We'll try it. Well, I hope that I don't fall in love with you, 'cause falling in love just makes me blue. Well, the music plays and you display your heart for me to see. I had a beer and now I hear you calling out for me. And I hope that I don't fall in love with you. Well, the room is crowded, there's people everywhere. And I wonder, should I offer you a chair? Well, if you sit down with this old clown, I'll take the frown and break it. Before the evening's gone away, I think that we could make it. And I hope that I don't fall in love with you. I can see that you are lonesome just like me, and it being late, you like some company. Well, I've had two. I look at you and you look back at me. The guy you're with, he's up and split. The chair next to you's free. And I hope that I don't fall in love with me. La di da 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 da. La da 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 da. Do 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 ba do 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 dum ba do do do. And I hope that I don't fall in love with you. Well, the light does funny things inside a man. These old tomcat feelings you don't understand. But I turn around to look at you. You light a cigarette. I wish I had the guts to bomb one, but we never met. And I hope that I don't fall in love with you. Now it's closing time, the music's fading out. Last call for drinks, I'll have another stout. I turn around to look at you, you're nowhere to be found. I search the place for your lost face. I guess I'll have another round. And I think that I just fell in love with you.
Sheets! Lovely. I love when you do that song.
Thank you.
It's my favorite Sheet song, actually, aside from the service. This song is for, we wrote this for Jason Wilbur. He's heard it once already. Sorry, Jason, but we want to do it again. And it's merely about a half pot going awry at a Ferdinand Folk Fest fundraiser. And Jason was the star performer, and the story says it all. So, Debbie, will you read some numbers at the end, please? I forgot to.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll squeal, I guess. Anyway, Kyle Legan.
You know what's really unique about this? I kind of feel like we did this to him again tonight with the whole bracket thing preceding his first song. It's like a larger than life thing, you know? It's like, how do you follow up the best bracket in the country, you know? Be like, I don't know. Sorry, Jason, but it seems like we do this every time you come to town.
We just
Yeah, no problem.
In one way. So is this, Scott wrote this, is this technically the narration of
This
Jason's
is exactly
internal thoughts, right?
This is just what happened, Kyle. He doesn't know it, but yes, it is.
It was a Saturday night, American Legion gig. A town so small, even the midgets were big. Maybe some improvisation. Intermission over, I returned to the stage. Heard no applause, only audience rage. It was a half pot. The natives grew restless when the MC forgot to announce the half pot. Great God Almighty, it's the half pot. I returned to the shadows, my guitar in my hand. Such times are lonely for a one-man band. I heard not a breath As the number was announced, a squeal from the rear, a victory was pronounced. To the half pod,
Everybody!
half pod. The natives grew restless when the MC forgot to announce the half pod, the half pod. Great God Almighty, it's a half pod. Well, the winner won 140, a ham and a beer. She made more than me, that was clear. It's a humbling experience, a complicated matter of fact. When the half pot's on the marquee, you're just the opening act.
Everybody!
It's a half pot, half pot.
Oh, beautiful!
Natives grew restless when the MC forgot to announce the half pot, the half pot. Great God Almighty, screw the half pot.
Tonight's winning number is 555379.
I hope you didn't write one about us.
I'm working on it now.
Thank you, Clubhouse 61 Memorial Choir. Jason, what do you have for us?
Oh, that was great. You know, you really captured something, the essence of what it's like to be a musician in that song. Well, this is another song from my new record, Echoes. This was written by a woman from Nashville, Tennessee named Angel Snow. And that is her real name. That's the first thing I asked her when I met her. This is, you know, interesting thing about music. I don't know if you've had this experience, but I find that I don't necessarily have to even know what a song is about to enjoy it. Sometimes you hear a song and you're like, sometimes you don't even know what the words are, you know, and you're just like, I really like this. And I think that's the beauty of the language of music, is that you don't have to understand it with your brain, you know, you understand it with your heart and your feelings. And so this is a song that I really love, and I couldn't really tell you what it's about, but I know it's cool and I like it, so I hope you'll enjoy it too. It's called Coals and Water, and it's written by Angel Snow. Fortune tellers dancing around inside my head. I'm trying not to lose everything she said. Even saw one standing at the foot of my bed last night. This mountain's getting higher with every step. I'm trying not to lose everything I've kept, captured by the fortune tellers in my mind. And ooh, they always come back again. Oh, every time freedom tries to pull me out, they suck me back in. And ooh, you're gonna let that fire burn you. Tell me how you're gonna walk on coals and water too. Can you taste these words falling from my mouth? Ain't old-fashioned love what it's all about? I heard an old black man shout Christmas Eve. Oh, I should have known better than to run to you. My heart started talking to me way too soon. Damn those fortune tellers in my mind. tries to pull me out, they suck me back in. And ooh, you gonna let that fire burn you. Tell me how you gonna walk on coals and water too. Coals and water. Thank you. All right. Well, how many of you, have any of you ever seen me perform before? A couple people here? Okay. Well, for the rest of you, I'll take a second here and tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Jason Wilbur. I'm from up in Bloomington, Indiana. And I'm 46 years old. I've been playing music most of my life. I started playing in bands there in Bloomington when I was about 14 years old. And a few years after that, I was playing at a little club in town called the Bluebird Tavern, which is still there to this day. Quite a popular place even now. And I was playing a Friday night happy hour with my band. And after we were done, I stuck around to hear some other friends of mine, or some friends of mine who were in another band who was playing later that evening at the same place. And unbeknownst to all of us, on this particular Friday night, there was a great songwriter in town named John Prine. And so who comes walking into the Bluebird Tavern about halfway through the night but John Prine? And so my friends in the other band, they started talking with John, and they talked him into getting up and playing some of his songs with the band. And so one of the guys who was in that band came over to me and he said, hey, I don't really know what to play with this guy. You're pretty good at following along with people. Why don't you get up and play with him? And I said, great. I'd heard some of John's records. I knew he was a famous songwriter, so I was really excited about this, So we did. We got up and we played a bunch of John's songs with him, and John was so impressed with my guitar playing that evening that I didn't hear from him for 10 years. But sure enough, about 10 years later, I was standing in my little apartment cooking ramen noodles, and the phone rang, and it was John Prine's manager calling from Nashville, Tennessee to ask if I'd like to audition to play lead guitar in John's band. And I turned off my ramen noodles and I said, yes, I would. And so about a month later, I did, and I got the job, and I've been working with him ever since. It's been 20 years now, so yeah. So one of the things I remember that stands out from those days playing the Bluebird Tavern when I was just a teenager was the first nationally touring band that we got to open for, and it was Leon Russell and his band. And it was really cool. They were kind of like, it seemed like, has anyone ever seen Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas? Anyone? Maybe? No? Okay, well, that's not going to mean anything to you. This guy, I'll just tell you. No. Well, there was this band on there that was all these crazy-looking guys who were from the swamp, and they had long gray hair, and they were really freaky. And anyway, that's what Leon Russell and his band looked like to me, They were really cool, and I was really interested just to see how they did everything, what kind of clothes they wore and what their equipment and guitars looked like, Because it was interesting to see guys who were actually out there doing what I wanted to do someday, And so many years later, though, I discovered this wonderful song I'm about to play for you, and I loved it, and quickly found out that it was a Leon Russell song. So I hope you'll enjoy it. I think it's one of the best songs there is. It's called A Song for You. I've been so many places in my life and time. I sung a lot of songs, and I made some bad rhymes. I acted out my life in stages, 10,000 people watching me. Oh, oh, we're alone now, and I'm singing this song for you. I know that your image of me, it's what I hope to be. I treated you unkindly, oh, but can't you see? There's no one more important to me. Baby, can't you please see through me? Oh, we're alone now, and I'm singing this song for you. You taught me precious secrets of a true love, withholding nothing. You came out in front when I was hiding, but now I'm so much better. And if my words don't come together, listen to the melody, 'cause my love is in there hiding. I love you in a place where there's no space or time. I love you for my life, oh, you're a friend of mine. And when my life is over, remember we were together. We were alone. I was singing this song for you. A song for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Are you ready? Just me and you. You need a copy? Yeah, copy. Well, now.
I don't have a copy.
Daniel, I got a copy.
Hey, we're having a good time. Be sure and get some booze back there, and you can move around all you want. Thank you, WJTS. Did I say that right?
Did
yes,
you?
yes, WJT. That's 4, yeah. They're filming us tonight, so awesome TV station. Thank you, guys. Peter, Prisma, where you're at. And, oh, we have 2 cameramen. We have 2 cameramen. There they are. Yeah.
You said Austin? This is Austin, Texas? Is that what you said?
No, this is no.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Debbie. I'm going to have to wing this. All right. Sorry. Angela Hemsel, all the way from here from New York City. Thank you for coming. She's read in our show before. There she is.
All right.
My earliest memory of being embarrassed by a parent happened at Saddle Lake in the 1970s. I was 10. If you know this, you can read along with it. The episode scarred my psyche so badly that even now at age 51, I still can't retell it in first-person narrative. Where are you going, Terry? I don't know if that's her name or not. I got lucky. All right. The worst thing that could happen to a boy happened. His mom, forgetting that her bathing suit top was untied, stood from her beach towel, and much to the boy's horror, the northern section of her two-piece migrated south to her ankles. Thank you, Chuck. The beach was crowded with teenagers, a demographic the boy was trying so hard to appear Fonzie cool around. Well, as cool as one can be when sharing a beach towel, Hawaiian tropic, and a transistor radio with his mom. Perhaps had the mom not yelped in surprise, all teenage eyes wouldn't have taken notice of the topless woman with the twin glowing orbs, we called them boobies back then, in the split second, an eternity to a boy, before she hugged herself tightly to strategically block with her elbows, too late, what had already been seen. Even as a baby, such a view embarrassed the boy so much that he refused to be breastfed. His first two words being, "Formula, please." I was a very weird baby. Nearly catatonic, the boy watched his mom bend to retrieve the top, turn her back to the gawkers, and reattach the bikini to her body. The rest of that day, the boy dug in the sand, not to build sand castles, but to create a crater big enough to crawl into and die. Despite my parents' history of doing things like this to me in public, I recently recruited them as members of my team for a Scrabble tournament in Evansville. Both have been proven to be worthy competitors and helped deliver my Scrabble fix. Still, I had trouble sleeping, not because I was worried about how we would do at the tournament, but because for the first time, we would not be playing in the privacy of our kitchens, but in a public setting, one ripe for yet another bout of parental embarrassment at my expense. I decided, though, that the risk was worth the cause. The tournament was a fundraiser to battle illiteracy. Our team's name, Meet the Salmons. A half hour before the tournament, we met at an Arby's. As soon as I sat, Mom pulled the sock, yes, the sock, from her purse, the sock that housed her cell phone. I looked around to see if any diners had noticed the sock. Mom, there are cell phone cases you can buy. I know, she said. Please don't pull your sock phone out during the tournament. But what if the sock rings? Then Dad bent below the table to pick something from Arby's carpet. Please don't tell me he found a curly fry down there. Dad's not a believer in wasted food, his food or anyone else's. To my relief, he found a lens to someone's glasses. He studied the lens with the intensity of an expert jeweler examining a rare jewel. Some sorry son of a bitch lost his lens and walked out of here without even knowing it. Ha ha ha. He laughed at the imbecile's misfortune. Then he got up to get a drink refill. Mom and I watched him walk away. We noticed his glasses frame dangling from the back pocket of his jeans. One of the lenses missing. He had sat on his own glasses. He was the sorry SOB he had been laughing about. We laughed uncontrollably, as you can imagine, even though I knew that without his glasses, Dad would be worthless playing Scrabble. I doubted there would be a Braille edition at the tournament. We're doomed, I thought. After we pointed out his faux pas, Dad said, I need to find something to fix my glasses. There's no time for that, Dad. At Scrabble Central, I watched the minutes tick away on the wall clock. I worried he might show up with neon duct tape holding his lens in place and embarrass me in front of the other Scrabble players, those wonderful word freaks that I was trying so hard to appear Fonzie cool around. I'm doomed. I pondered withdrawing Meet the Salmons from the tournament before anyone could get a chance to actually meet the Salmons. But before I could follow through, my parents arrived on time. Dad had found a nearby store that actually had a repair kit for glasses. Best of all, Mom kept her sock phone in her purse. Neither parent drew unwanted attention to themselves or to me, and we played well, actually placing 4th out of 28 teams, not bad for first-time tournament players. Next year, Meet the Salmons will likely sign up for the tournament once more, unless it is held on a beach. There is no way I will go with Mom on a beach ever again. Mom and Dad back there by Birthday Rick, thank you for coming. Daniel Market, what is your next song, sir?
You were going to try to make me play something funny, but I'm not going to try to follow that with something funny.
Oh, okay.
You know, I'm coming off the script here, folks. I'll
Okay.
tell you that much.
We'll save your seats for you. Hold those seats.
They always leave when it's my turn. I used to play a lot in Colorado, and one night I was playing in a place called Dillon Danburg, and I got back into this town of Silver Plume about 1 p.m. in the morning, maybe 2 when I finished. And I just parked my van at the end of town because my friends were asleep already, and it started snowing. And I'm sleeping with my guitar. You know, you're not supposed to get your guitar cold. It was like 0. So I put it in bed with me, you know, trying to keep it warm. I didn't sleep very well, and I got up and went to my friend's restaurant. Why didn't you come over last night? I said, well, it was awfully late. I couldn't sleep, and they said, well, where did you sleep? I said, at the end of town. They said, well, the town's haunted. You know, you're not going to be able to sleep down there because the town's haunted. Clifford Griffin shot himself at that end of town. I go, what? She goes, come outside with me, and at the top of the mountain, there's this obelisk where this guy shot himself in 1880. It's all true. And so I said, I think I'm going to write that song. I think I'll hike up to that thing and write this song, The Ballad of Lonely Clifford Griffin. So he really shot himself up there. And every time I go to Silver Plume, I go up there. Well, you can climb the mountain where the granite marker stands, up near the mine where Clifford took his life with his own hands. And he was a lonely bachelor, boys, and he played the violin. And all the locals say he plays it still. Some say it's just a wind. Well, he came in 1880 for the Colorado boom, from County Shropshire, England, to the town of Silver Plume. And he worked there at the silver mine, but he never took a wife. Just kept to himself upon that hill and lived the recluse life. But then early every evening, for the rising of the moon, from on the hill string music through the streets of Silver Plume. And the kids got quiet in the streets and the old ones listened there, as the sweet sad sound of lonely came from Clifford's violin. He had a sweetheart once that he bought a ticket for that train, and he waited at the station for his bride who never came. Man, the legend goes she changed her mind or she died along the way. But old Clifford never was the same when he got home that day. Then old Clifford turned to whiskey when the lonely got too much. And they say man cannot survive without a woman's touch. And one 1887 night, the fiddle playing stopped. And then all around the streets of town, the people heard the shout. And all the men raced up the ridge top with the last light of the sun. And they found a half-dug grave and lonely Clifford's smoking gun. Man, a note there on his table, and it was scrawled in his own hand. And it said, plant me in this place where I played my violin. But then early that same evening, for the rising of the moon, from on the hill string music filled the streets of Silver Plume. Man, the kids got quiet in the streets, and the old ones listened in, as the sweet sad sound of lonely came from Clifford's violin. Boys, there's aspen on the slopes up there, bighorns in them rocks. You'll move past pine tree honor guards with snow down in your socks, past talus rocks and timber down the trail where he first came. And there you'll find that granite monument where they carved out his name. And then way off to the right, you'll find where they sealed off the shaft. You can call out Clifford's name, he won't answer back. Still some early summer evenings for the rising of the moon. There from on that hill, string music fills the streets of Silver Plume. And there from on that hill, string music fills the streets of Silver Plume. Thank you. Thank you.
Daniel Market, thank you, Daniel. Thank you so much for coming up here. Andrea, you have a song.
I do. Thank you.
So I made a deal with God the other day. Said, here I am for you to mold like clay. I'm a little rough around the edges, and I need some help today. I had hopes so high the buzz took me away. A child's wish for freedom I did pray. Now I feel the cold wind knocking at my door with skies of gray. But nothing feels quite as whole as a Sunday morning. Please take me there and stand to me on holy ground. Sing me a song, make it real, help me live my story. I've got a story. I guess I wanted to go back, just making sure you were still there. Not like there's anywhere for you to go. You vanished in thin air. Nothing feels as close to never knowing, like the cold wind in my hair. But nothing feels quite as whole as a Sunday morning. Please take me there and stand me on holy ground. Sing me a song, make it real, help me live my story. We've got a story.
Mr. Webb, right up here. How about it? You've been a great audience. Thank you very much.
Okay, this one's not funny at all. I wrote this the morning that I found out that David Bowie died. It's when I wake up that I find out people are dead. Happened with my friend who shot himself, Princess Diana, and it happened again on Monday. Did you hear David Bowie died, my wife said. NyQuil hung around. Snow outside the window, meaning I couldn't go anywhere, at least not without a lot of unwanted effort. But he just released an album on Friday, I said. Yep, he had cancer, she said. He knew it was going to happen. David Bowie doesn't die of cancer. I die of cancer. Everyone around me dies of cancer, but David Bowie dies on Hollywood Boulevard. Gold orange hair slicked back, sunglasses, cigarette in his teeth, just finished with Station to Station. Cheekbones of a shark, collapses under a weight we don't understand, bleeds out in the street, and his blood is red, disappointingly. Maybe we'll leave him there. Surely he'll get up. David Bowie was alive when you were both born, I tell my kids. They don't care. But it makes the world more interesting, doesn't it? Somebody like that walking around. Thank you. Thank you.
It's just something we do.
Yeah. Not too far from you, all told. Some people who were alive when I was born. Audrey Hepburn, my grandpa, and most of the Watergate burglars. Ziggy Stardust, the Thin White Duke, Aladdin Sane, David Robert Jones. So I spent the morning listening to 5 years. It opens the rise and fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. Relays the news that Earth will be dead in half a decade. People wander around, trying to figure out how to deal with the stripping away of the fog we install around that ridiculous knowledge. Hey, you're going to die. And it was cold and it rained, so I felt like an actor. And I thought of Ma and I wanted to get back there. Your face, your race, the way that you talk. I kiss you, you're beautiful, I want you to walk. He had cancer. He knew it was going to happen. Of course he did. David Bowie always knew something we didn't.
All right, now, so I'm going to play a David Bowie song for you. This is one that's on my new record, Echoes, and it is, it's, you know, a lot of David Bowie's songs are among those that I talked about before, where I don't have any idea what the song is about, but I enjoy it, you know. And this one, it's kind of like a little science fiction short story to me in song form. And I found out that this song was inspired by X-Men comics. And I think it makes sense. To me, like, the basic message of this song is make room for people who are different, because pretty much we're all different. So this one is called Oh You Pretty Things. You sleepyhead, put on your clothes, shake off some bed, put another log on the fire for me. I made some breakfast and coffee. I look out my window and what do I see? A crack in the sky and a hand reaching down to me. All the nightmares came today, and it looks as though they're here to stay. We coming to? No room for me, no fun for you. I think about a world to come where the books were found by the golden ones, written in pain and written in awe by a puzzled man who questioned what we were here for. All the strangers came today, and it looks as though they're here to stay. Things. Don't you know you're driving your mamas and papas insane? Oh, you pretty things. Don't you know you're driving your mamas and papas insane? Let me make it plain. children. You'll see their faces in golden rays. Don't kid yourself, they belong to you, or they're the start of the common race. The earth is a bitch, we finished our news. Homo sapiens have outgrown their use. All the strangers came today, and it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, you pretty things, don't you know you're driving your mamas and papas insane? Oh, you pretty things, don't you know you're driving your mamas and papas insane? Let me make it plain, we gotta make way for the Homo superior. David Bowie. Thank you.
Ready? All right. Oops. There goes something. Is it your turn?
I think it is.
It is. What are you doing?
Let's do Meet Me in Indiana.
An original written by a friend of yours.
This is a song, we kind of joke about it. This is a song about Indiana, and I think it fits very much with where we're at, written by a friend of mine from Michigan. And I said, you know, I don't know that he's ever been like south of Valparaiso maybe, but it's definitely very southern. I think it's maybe more about his image of what he thinks Indiana is, but I think that he probably did a pretty good job. So this is a song about Indiana, and Daniel's played this with me once on harmonica, and Debbie joins in, and if anyone else would love to. Yeah.
Shake it, baby.
Shake it. It's my job.
Just like Jason gets to tour with John Prine, I get to. He tours the country with John Prine. I tour the county with Sheets, which, in my opinion, is just as cool.
Just as cool.
It's all proportional.
I mean, right?
Absolutely.
This is like our second show in 2 weeks, but you know,
Big money.
it's no big deal. I'm gonna quit talking though, because we gotta hurry up and get back to our jobs tomorrow morning.
Yeah, we got real jobs.
We gotta get home. Meet me in Indiana, where my grandfather died. Meet me in Indiana, in that Wabash, the Wabash by and by. Staring up at that Midwestern sky, my skyscrapers are corn husks. Never thought much that mountain horizon after seeing Indiana at dusk. Meet me in Indiana, where my grandfather died. Meet me in Indiana, in that Wabash, the Wabash by and by. At those crossroads I made a deal with the devil himself. Not for guitars, fame or fortune, for my wife wife and child stars. Time come to pass, there's one thing that I ask. See my ashes spread across that rich Indiana grass. Everything moves so slow here. We're like the seventh inning stretch. Crickets sing for all the lonely. The smell of summer in your dress. Grandfather died. Meet me in Indiana, in that Wabash by and by.
Tell your buddy we like that song.
Well done, Kyle.
Yeah. Kyle just had a baby, 3 months ago now?
Yes.
And yes, so everything's going well?
Things are going great.
Good. And
So it's kind of taken a toll on our attendance, though, on some of our smaller shows that we do. Now it's like either the wife can be here or the mother can be here. You know, that's two staples of our show. You know,
you're both here. Where's the baby?
no, I'm saying my mother.
Oh, that's all right.
I'm not the wife and the mother, or either.
There'll be a news story on WJTS behind the scenes.
You can interview me later.
Anyway, and I want to point out Megan Gatwood just had her second Will Read and Sing for Food baby. So she just had a baby. She'll be back with us, a daughter named Lucy, last week or earlier this week, whenever it was. So cool.
It's not interdepartmental.
No, not at all.
Her second Will Read and Sing baby.
It's not that. But they are
it's not that type of thing.
They are labeled that for life, though. And
there are no babies coming from this end.
But you must have been a beautiful baby.
This I was.
What are you gonna sing?
When I'm not touring with Kyle, I take time to listen to the radio. That's where I get my inspiration. So my good friend, Kelly Clarkson, said I could borrow this piece from her. And I thought it would fit in with the show this evening. So we'll try it. It's a new one. And all I remember is your back. Walking towards the airport, leaving us all in your past. I traveled 1,500 miles to see you. I begged you to want me, but you didn't want to. But piece by piece he collected me up off the ground where you abandoned things. And piece by piece He filled the holes that you burned in me at 6 years old. No, he never walks away. He never asks for money. He takes care of me. He loves me piece by piece. He restored my faith that a man can be kind and a father could say. And all of your words fell flat. I made something of myself, and now you want to come back. But your love isn't free, it has to be earned. Back then I didn't have anything you needed, so I was worthless. But piece by piece he collected me up off the ground where you abandoned things. And piece by piece he filled the holes that you burned in me at 6 years old. And no, he never walks away. He never asks for money. He takes care of me. He loves me, and piece by piece he restored my faith that a man can be kind and a father could stay. Piece by piece, piece by piece, piece by piece, I fell far from the tree. I will never leave her like you left me, and she will never have to wonder her worth, because unlike you, I'm gonna put her first. You know, he'll never walk away. He'll never break her heart. He'll take care of things. He'll love her piece by piece. He restored my faith that a man can be kind and a father should be great. Piece by piece, piece by piece, piece by piece. No.
I sure tried, didn't I? I just want to say how grateful and humbled I am at the amount of people we have in the room. This means a lot, not only to me, but also to my team members, who I'm going to embarrass also and have them stand. Because without the team, we would not have SWICAC, and we would not have a place for these kids. So pretty please, I'm asking nicely, will my team members that are still here, we cover 7 counties, so some of them had to leave already, otherwise they would get home at like midnight. So please, my team that's still here, I'm looking at you. You can stand for like 2 seconds. Come on, guys. Thank you. This is a safe place. Nobody's in trouble here. You can. No, but thank you guys so much. What the organization does is extremely hard to put into words, but we give any and every child who's alleged to be victim of abuse a safe reporting location, so that we hope, we try, that they feel comfortable and they feel safe and they're able to talk about it. And from that point forward, they can get the therapy and the counseling and anything they need, so that we don't end up in that negative spot down the road where we have substance abuse, we have alcohol issues, we have criminal activity. I could go on and on. So I won't. But thank you very much. I want to thank Jenna for coming all the way to Indiana. She was brilliant today. Earlier today, she spoke to over 300 students for us, and which is huge. And Indiana, unfortunately, does not have a law that mandates that students and teachers and parents get child abuse prevention education. So those 300 kids that she talked to today, that was a really big deal for us. And then, you know, the over hundreds of people that were here today that she got to talk to. So very grateful for Jenna. I think she's an amazing person. And I have to recognize Scott, because Scott,
Who's on his knees?
I mean,
Marry me.
all I could say about Scott is wow, right? But look at this lineup of talent that he got for us, and I just, so very grateful. So thank you all very much for coming. Okay, so we're a nonprofit organization and we don't have a lot of money. So what I do have is our 5K registration, and on the back side of that, it tells you a little bit of information about the organization. My email address is on there, so feel free to grab one as you go. So if you want to contact me for any reason, please do so. Okay?
All right.
Before
Tammy's
before
wonderful.
you start, I'm sorry. Tomorrow's her birthday, huh?
Is it Jenna's birthday? I didn't catch whose birthday it was.
I don't know. Thank you. Thanks.
I'm sorry, Jenna.
Tammy's
I didn't
wonderful.
hear that it was your birthday. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jenna. Happy birthday to you. Sorry.
I think that's the best happy birthday I've ever gotten from such a talented group. Because, as you know, I'm not singing tonight, and you'll be very grateful for that. No one really in my family sings, so usually it doesn't sound this way when I'm sung happy birthday to, so thank you. Well, I'm going to wrap this up. Long story short, there is so much hope and there is so much light, just even in the face of abuse, but really any adversity that you might go through in life. We all get the wind knocked out of our sails. Life happens, just given a matter of time, right? We called 911, and that was a lot of fun, let me tell you. And after we called 911, it really, the Advocacy Center stepped in, and thank goodness we did go to trial. And my perpetrator, the jury gave him 70 years in prison, and he has to serve 20 of those years. Thank God. Thank God. And if there's any prosecutors in the room, thank you, because without the prosecutors, without the MDT team, the team that stood up, that Tammy had, just now stand up, everyone, all of the counselors, the investigators, everybody, everyone at the center, they work hard. It really takes a team to be able to prosecute the bad guys for these kinds of cases, because a lot of the time, there really isn't any evidence, unfortunately. So, I actually went back to the Advocacy Center where I grew up to do my internship for psychology. And they said, why do you want to come back? You're fine, move on with your life. Just, but I couldn't explain it. There was something so ineffable that was calling me back to go back to this Advocacy Center as a college student. And, as I started to see all these little kids come through the doors, they would come in for therapy, and most of them were too small to even explain what happened. They had to show with dolls. They didn't even have the language to talk about what they had been through. And I really opened up my eyes just to see out of my own self, out of my own story, and see there are millions of children that go through this. It can be a one-time thing, or it can be, in my case, happen over the course of months or even years. And, I really it kept me up at night trying to do something to prevent this, because we have a lot of good legal laws for stricter punishment and things like that, but there's nothing on the prevention side that would really do something to help these kids understand how to protect themselves, what to look out for, the signs and symptoms and the warning signs, especially now today with online safety. And you know, we have car seats in the car to protect our kids for when they're driving. When we're driving, we're all in the car. So why wouldn't we have laws in place in our schools to make sure children know what their boundaries are? Because now more than ever, the lines are blurred on what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. There's a lot of gray out there for these kids. So I met with legislators and passed in 2009 the very first child abuse prevention education law, specifically for child sexual abuse in 2009. And essentially what it does, long pages of just legal jargon, but it's teachers, parents, and students that are trained on the signs and symptoms of what to look for in child sexual abuse. And we've also expanded that to incorporate all forms of maltreatment with bullying and and other types of ways that children can be abused. So in all of that, it really helped other kids to see. It really helped my family to heal. It really helped all of us to really get past what we went through. And survivors, they really deserve the greatest level of healing. And what I told the kids today at the school, I said, it's never your fault. A lot of the times these survivors, they feel like they did something to bring it on. But really, I told them they're picked. These perpetrators, they can go anywhere, they can go to a playground, and they can pick their victim. And then they start the grooming process. So they learned a lot today, and they were good. Let me tell you, they were one of the best group of, if you have a sixth grader, they were very good. They listened so well. They were very respectful. And I've really enjoyed my time here in Indiana. And long story short, hope is much, much stronger than fear. We all face fear. We all experience fear, but hope is greater. And when you trust God with your pain, then He opens doors and allows your life to become something that you never would have imagined that it could be. So there's more information. If you want to know, I have resources. There's a 24-hour hotline on my webpage. I have cards outside. It's jennaquinn.org, or just if you're a Facebook person now, which everyone is, Jenna's Law on Facebook. There's going to be more information on there for you. And if you have questions too, there's people there to answer on the hotline too. So, Tammy, did you want to say anything else? Or do I say that everyone here is wonderful and the Advocacy Center is wonderful, and thanks for being here. Your money's really helped a good cause. So, thank you.
How could I know what would unfold, whether kept, burned, or sold? I'm still picking the pieces up now, truths to be told. You did not know, but if you could now, I know you turn the clock back somehow. I run for pride, yeah right, I run and hide. I need more help than not at the end of the day. Some people fight, some say goodnight, some just shut down, some people pray. I would walk 1,000 miles just to see your face, just to see your face. I've been around and round and round and round and round this heart of mine so many times, but the answer is there. Oh, the way some people pray. Some people pray.
You going to read for us?
I can if you want me to.
Read. One more by John Webb. Check out his stuff on courierpress.com or the hard copy too.
Yeah, sure. Either way, it's fine.
No guitar on this one, Kyle.
You can if you want. That's fine. Thanks.
Let's get it out of the way.
My roommate peed all over the place. This is about a dog. I probably should have said that before. Every columnist has a column about a dog because it's a cheap way to manipulate people's emotions. Half your work's already done. My roommate peed all over the place. There was no answer as to why. Franny, my obese beagle, could spend 8 hours lying around our rental house, and when I'd come home from work, not a single stain would dot the carpet. And when I'd let her outside to do her business, she'd sniff, chase invisible rabbits, and come back inside without doing a thing. But as George Washington once said after crossing the Delaware River, pull the boat over, the dog has to piss. Franny would prove Washington right as soon as I went to use the restroom myself. Upon returning to the living room, I'd find the once clean carpet transformed into the most foul twister mat ever conceived. Dark circular puddles waited every few feet, and I never failed to sink a dry sock into one of their spongy cores. Then we'd embark on our nightly rituals of death threats and butt scooting. I'll let you decide who did what. It was my wife's idea that I take Franny with me when I moved to Kentucky to take a job as a sports editor at the Glasgow Daily Times. Neither my wife nor our other dog, the beloved mutt Jerry, could make the trip yet. One had to honor a 2 weeks' notice at a bank job, and the other had to recover from heartworm surgery. I'll let you decide who did what. So in order to keep me from being lonely, she suggested I bring along Franny, a piggish monstrosity who once ate a coffee mug and begged for more. When I wrote this has actually been 7 years now, but this weekend marks 6 years since our stint of living only with each other. And now that tempers have cooled and time has smoothed over the jagged edges of intense hatred, I can honestly tell you, those 2 weeks were terrible. Like something Freddy Krueger might dream after eating too much cheese before bed. Franny did the following things during those 14 fateful days. She broke into the refrigerator and ate an entire peanut butter pie. Why would a man living only with a dog have an entire peanut butter pie in his fridge, you might ask? You might also mind your own business. She demanded to go outside at 3 a.m. so she could bury, aka drop in the neighbor's yard, her toy, a chewed-up DVD of High Fidelity, which is the only movie I had down there, and she ate it on the second day. And she also peed on everything. Then, of course, there was the time she almost murdered me. During a weekend drive to Evansville, I stopped for a fast food breakfast while Franny sat in a kennel buckled into the back seat. She whined for a hash brown, so I reached back without looking and tried to hand her one. As we merged onto the zooming interstate, she bit down on my greasy finger with the intensity of a cocaine-addled piranha. Have you ever passed a semi at 80 miles per hour with your finger lodged in a dog's mouth? I don't recommend it. But there were good times, too. On nights after work, we'd sit on the porch together drinking beer and eating pig's ears. I'll let you decide who did what. Then we'd watch Seinfeld on a beat-up laptop, and I'd tell her what was to come. My wife would arrive soon, and Jerry, too, and furniture, and a TV. And debilitating spinal issues, and one final shot from the vet as I stroked her head and I told her I was sorry. A lot of things were about to happen, but for a while, it was just us.
All right. It's funny or serious, and this is kind of proud of this song, so I'm going to play it. I wrote this one right when I moved to Muscle Shoals, looking out over my backyard over Pickwick Lake, thinking about my old girlfriend from 25 years ago. Well, sometimes in the evening, with the years and miles long gone, I still write down my memories and I sing them in my song. But she's lost across the ocean, and my youth has faded fast. On the outskirts of this little town, I ponder on my past. Well, sometimes when the evening sun sits heavy on my shoulder, well, I think about those days gone by when I was young and bolder. Acres of my chestnut oaks and my shag box lay before me. On my back porch back in Tennessee, where she'd be waiting for me when I'd come home from town with the gloaming coming down. The sun would slide so softly just behind my hill of trees. Thought this might be heaven never once occurred to me. With her hair all thick and smelly of the girl she was back then, got a movie playing in my mind where I picture her again. Christ, her skin's all soft and brown, and the gloaming's coming down. Those were days of bigger dreams that always seemed to haunt me. And after all these years, boys, they still come back to twist and taunt me. When I think about her soft words she once whispered with delight, then come see the trees are covered with the golden evening light. Don't you want to take a walk around? Gloaming coming down. Well, there's pictures in this cardboard box that are hard for me to see, with her arms around my shoulders and she's smiling back at me. And I know it's not the best thing when you're gonna long for all you've wasted, but for one night I'll savor all the kisses I once tasted. Just before I lay me down, with the gloaming coming down. Well, there's an old cliche that youth is wasted on the young. That's one I'd never heard back when we used to lay down with the sun. Not a word was spoken, then come the hoot owls in my tree. Christ, I could crawl back to those woods on bruised and bleeding knees if I thought she'd be around with the gloaming coming down. If I thought she'd be around no mean coming down. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. Thanks.
All right. Well, when I made this record that I've been talking about, Echoes, I knew I'd have to put a John Prine song on there because he's one of my favorite writers, and I wanted to keep my job playing with him. But it was hard to pick a favorite because he has so many that I really like, even after all these years of playing them. But this is the one I chose, and you might know it, so please feel free to sing along if you'd like. I think it's about how it's... whew, it's getting late, isn't it? Was that just in my head, or did everybody hear that?
Have we announced the half part yet?
No, not yet, Kyle. Not yet. Wait till about halfway through my song. That's the appropriate spot. So this song is about how you can't ever really go back to your childhood home because it's never going to be there, even if it still is.
Oh, man.
When I was a child, my family would travel down to Western Kentucky where my parents were born. There's a backwoods old town that's often remembered, so many times that my memories are worn. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay. I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. Sometimes we travel right down the Green River to the abandoned old prison down by Adria Hill, where the air smelled like snakes and we'd shoot with our pistols, but empty pop bottles is all that we'd kill. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay. I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. And then the coal company came with the world's largest shovel, and they tortured the timber and they stripped all the land. They dug for the coal till the ground was forsaken, and they wrote it all down as the progress of man. Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay. I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. Got a harmonica solo When I die, let my ashes flow down the Green River. Let my soul roll on up to the Rochester Dam. I'll be halfway to heaven town with paradise waiting, just 5 miles away from wherever I am. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away.
Jason Wilbur, the best cover I've ever heard,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
Good job, Jason. Thank you.
Hey, don't forget, we know it's late. Debbie told me to tell you guys our shows normally don't go this long. So, did I do that okay?
Yeah,
But I
we
forgot
want you to come back.
But what I forgot to tell you was WJTS is making a mini series of this. And so, suckers. And also, I think mainly, I wanted to stack this deck tonight because this is I think the most important cause we've done, and it's the most human, as I've said before, of things we've done. And when you go home and you sit 2 weeks from now and say, my God, that was a long show, you will still remember why we were here. And that's why we're here. And hey, drive safe.
Yep.
Sleep warm, spread the word. Thanks for coming. I'm not going to say everybody's names here, but thank you for everybody for coming, giving us your time. Tammy, Jenna Quinn, you're awesome. So support these musicians. That's how they make a living. If you want to buy some CDs out there, CD sellers, get out there right now before they leave. Put some pressure. Make them feel weird. Make them stay.
Southern Indiana, Southern Indiana, man. From Evansville down to New Albany, everything is fine far as I can see. From Bloomington on south, you understand. It's a good time on a Friday night. Everybody's feeling